So this is a new deck that I'm working with, and this is the book right here, the guidebook. See, it's Wildwood Tarot. So this is the actual one of the characters in the deck. Okay, um, this one is called the Archer. The Archer. I don't know how to pronounce it right. The Archer. So she is the energy of March, which is the springtime, element of air, creative energy and inspiration. She is the dawn of new life and the coming of fertile and fulfilling season. Now, I'm going to read her energy. As is, okay? She is the type of person that seems to let you do exactly what you want to do in the springtime. You know exactly what you want to do in the springtime, but she also informs you that there are consequences if anything was to happen. She does have a person that reports back to her and let her know what was transpired with a certain situation, or what have you, and she does not control the consequences. She kind of helps out after the consequences have been handed out. Okay, so she is that type of energy. Okay, so here is her energy. Okay, so her description, she is a her. Okay, she is a her. The Archer holds the broad long bow poised in the act of release. The bow is one of mere hilt design, the fletching, or of goose feather taken from the right wing, and the arrowhead is flint. The archer's gaze is focused and steady as she looks beyond the arrow into the sky, holding the tension between the bow and the sinew bowstring with controlled and relaxed intent. She wears a simple amulet and appears serene and confident, yet full of purpose. By her side wait two hunting dogs, messengers of power she holds within herself. Meaning, the bow, this is the meaning of her, like her energy meaning. The bow's importance of most of early mankind, both as a tool of survival and for defense, cannot be underestimated. It is for the reason, perhaps, that it has also become a spiritual symbol, and that the drawing and releasing of an arrow is sometimes seen as a ritualistic practice in its own right. For many, the bow is a powerful link to our past and a patience require a master. It connects the archer with ancient life or death experience. The cell place written spells on their arrows, and Sioux Indian medicine arrows are painted with geometric designs and held special ritual significance. So mission of so the mission of the will, stinging the bow, gives the wood a potential for the release of energy. Drawing the bow controls the harness that energy, and releasing the arrow with intent finally sends the archer will through the air to its target. Just as spells and curses are loosened through the air of hunters and shamans, so we must ourselves tune into this ancient process and become archers with quivers, full of ideas and desires, capable of forming and focusing our aim in the steady drawing of our will, and then loosen our creative and intellectual drive in a controlled and effective way. The key to smooth and accurate release of the arrow is steady and relaxed state, both physically and mentally. As hunters in the forest, we need patience and cunning, as well as intimate knowledge of wild wood, to move and steal it towards the quarry. Then, with a cool and deliberate aim, the arrow must release itself, containing something of our will and our spirit in its flight towards this goal. Reading points, okay? The dawn of a new adventure, folding in a folded in a web of universal potential, waits for you to sting the bow of your imagination and lose the arrow of creativity. This is the time to be bold and commit to hunting of new life, a better relationship with the world, as well as fulfillment of wholeness, ambition. Take a moment to gather your tools and steady your state of mind. Take careful stock of what you want to achieve while how you will go about it. Then harness your potential by fulfilling your quiver with all the talents, knowledge, and cunning your poses, and string the bow of burning gold with the arrows of desire. Take a deep breath and be calm. It is time to let your soul take flight. Hmm, 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 hmm. So, so here's the thing. It's like hunting in the springtime, okay? Very beautiful, okay? Very beautiful. So this is the energy where, like, ooh, this person seems to know how to have fun and know how to kind of work at the same time, okay? Literally, okay? Very goal oriented. So it gives me like a person who, if you're just out and about, and no matter how beautiful things may seem, how this, that, and the third, or what have you, there is someone around you with some type of motive, okay? Literally with a motive, okay? And this person is like keeping track of what's going on, literally, okay? Yes, so the archer is an aimer, like literally an aimer. So it's almost in a sense where you need to practice perfection. Literally, I'm gonna tell you, you need to practice perfection, like around fall, winter time. Literally, fall, winter time, which I'm gonna take you to the hooded man, okay? The hooded man, which is he comes in around soulless time, okay? December. I'm gonna explain to you the description of the hooded man, okay? He comes in around December time. He's associated with Earth, the dark moon, the not dark moon, dark sun. This is a time of solitude and contemplation. This is my thought on it, okay? He is the gateway to the dead and rebirth, the womb of the earth. So around that time, you should be grounded. He is like a secret holder, okay? He also releases wisdom, comfort, and all of the great things. So I feel like when a hooded man does pop up in a reading, a psychic reading, when he does pop up, I feel like he's informing you to kind of like uh how would you say, take in secrets, take in all that you can take in, good or bad or what have you, but it's almost like know when to release it. And if you do release it, say for instance you hold it in and you hold it in until the springtime when you really in your Six of Cups mode, okay? Six of Cups put you in a happy space. It also puts you in the comfort of people, from the past. It makes you feel super good, and you want to talk about past memories. You want to talk about things that probably happened or the things that you have found out in the winter time. And you're going to want to express that with individuals that have goals and obligations and have aims and this, that, and the third. Harm in the night, okay? So harm in the night. So you're gonna want to express that. So it's almost like whatever it is that you go through in the fall, the winter, especially in the winter time. It's almost like keep it to yourself, especially when a hooded man pops up in a reading, okay? Because as you see, who is that? The Sag energy? I think it was the Archer. Damn, I won't tell you the Archer energy, okay? So the Archer. So definitely when an Archer pops up, that's when things are being analyzed. Is being analyzed. This person has messengers, so which means this person is really not, by themselves, okay? And again, female energy. This is a feminine energy, okay? Now, here's the hooded man, okay? The hooded man. So again, the hooded man, he stands at the midwinter solstice on the 21st of September, associated with Earth and a dark sun. This is the time of solitude, contemplation. It is a gateway of the dead and rebirth and womb of the earth, okay? His description, a lone hooded figure stands before an ancient oak, okay? Yeah, he deals with a magical tree, okay? It is a midwinter. Thick snow covers the ground and the branches of the tree. The hooded man is dressed in an evergreen holly and berry cloak. He holds a stout staff in one hand and a lantern to light the pathway in the other. And a great tree is a battered and moss-covered wooden doorway Through the swollen timbers, a warm light spills into the evening gloom. The inside of a great tree appears, inviting a haven from the chilling air. Above the doorway is a wheel-like wreath of holly and evergreen foliage. In a cold stone raising from the frozen earth, a wreath watches and waits. Meaning of his energy. After the trials and tribulations of dealing with the primal forces that confront you on the wheel of the year, a space is needed for stillness and contemplation for the spiritual warrior or the seeker looking for esoteric knowledge. The complex matrix of symbolism and insight may confuse the intellect and shake the reality. The hooded man, also known as the hermit, is sometimes as also known as the hermit or sometimes Robin in a Hood, the deeper archetype of outlaw of Sherwood Forest. Offers a steadfast light in a midwinter world and a steady staff on which in a lean and gather your mental resources. His shining lamp illuminates the darkest deep of gather your mental resources. His shining lamp illuminates the darkest recesses of fear and incomprehension and guides the way to the doorway that leads into the heart of the great tree. He knows that knowledge is light and sometimes only earned in sacrifice and stoicism. Such things offer admittance to the great mystery of the woodland and show the seekers how they may find the wisdom to advance through the wilder reaches of the forest. The great tree itself is one of the most powerful symbols of the forest. Within its ancient heart lie countless secrets and profoundest treasures of wisdom. The hooded man survives even in a cold, empty winter, landscaped because of his wisdom and his will. He is one with harness of the climate because he draws upon the strength of the evergreen holly that even the winter cannot turn dust and has stored spiritual nourishments to sustain him. He observed the lessons and knowledge that his journey has afforded him. And to those who have followed his path and now are tried and in need of solace, he waits to pass his wisdom, comfort, and guidance. On a small rock nearby is a ring, the sacred bird of kings, Raven as oracle and keeper of secret wisdom. The ring is an ancient totem bird that flew highest of all creatures by riding on the back of a great eagle, thus earning itself the title of king of all birds. It serves as a reminder that the smallest of the earth's creatures is capable of soaring to the greatest heights and seeing beyond the fullest horizon. This time of rebirth is both inward and mystical, yet outward and universal, beyond the narrow boundaries of human civilization and moral codes. Okay? Now, when he pops up in a reading, these are some key points, okay? All right, so these are the key points. The time of the hooded man is here, whether he appears in the disguise of an inner guide and mentor or simply as a state of mind, you will understand that now is the time to withdraw and rest. After a long journey through the wildwood, many emotions and experiences need to be observed. This is the beginning of understanding, not just for yourself, but the universe. The hermit, like hooded man, appears differently for everyone, whether through meditation or solitude in the mountains, through prayer or holidaying in a secluded place. This light will illuminate the way to the heart of an endless cycle of being. Roots and branches. The path of solitude, the final truth, the still small voice of calm, meditation, and communion with the self, the light of knowledge, and the inner depth. This is his picture. See it? Look at the eagle right here. This is really what paved the way. Well, got him to you know, all of his wisdom, he, you know, he kind of, where is it? The highest of the creators by writing on the back of the eagle, thus earning itself the title of king of all birds. It serves as a reminder that the smallest of Earth's creatures is capable of soaring to the greatest heights and seeing beyond the furthest horizon. So he mastered, and yeah, because of an eagle, because of an eagle, literally because of an eagle, he gained his title. He gained his title, but he went through things and experience and blah 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 and all that good stuff. Um, yeah, and you're gonna wanna discuss this energy, okay? Um, this is a super good book. Now I'm going to read to you the sag, which I didn't because the sag is like the messenger to. It's almost like, you know, the sag is like the messenger to. The sag is like the messenger to the archer, okay, to the archer energy, okay. The archer is like the goal-oriented person, you know. You know, you aim high, you have goals, this, and the third, but it also kind of like go into contemplating and thinking about, you know, what could be wrong with another, okay, or what have you. So you have to be like on your P's and Q's. You have to control your words around, or not even your words, control your words around in your actions around the springtime, okay, especially when you're at events and such things and you want to just act out, because here's the sag energy pops up. Now when that sag energy pops up, that sag energy is looking for something to report back, okay. um Definitely looking for something to report back, whether it's through conversations or through actions, okay? Because this sag energy is definitely going to take what it has observed or even went through to that archer, okay? The sag energy is the messenger, okay? So here's the sag energy. The sag energy gives me like the person who is one of the dogs that stands on the side of the archer. Yeah, you know, it has this, let me see. Yeah, by her side wait two great hunting dogs, messengers of the power she holds within herself, okay? So the sag is just as powerful as that archer, okay? Totally. You know, so in yeah, then when that's yeah, so here's the sag energy. Sag. The description of the sag. The sag forest king and guardian, half human and half animal, and verdant with greenery, looks out from the cart with a steady and calm gaze. He holds a polished half axe and shield. His horns reach into the sky and are mirrored in the branches of the tree, therefore, which stands as a reminder of our cosmic connection to the universe and its manifestation in all organic life on the planet. The polished axe headed, it's a manifestation of human will to change the environment, and not always for the better. So, a weighing up of action and responsibility is necessary. The shield, which bears the image of the symbolic major oak, reminds us that we must preserve and protect our natural resources. Meaning of his energy. The concept of forgiveness and reward are not appropriate here. There are human ideas which have no reality in nature, Lord. One reaps what one have sown, just as right or generous actions brings fulfillment and peace. Greed and vengeful desire bring bitter loneliness and disillusion. Balance will be maintained by the planet's ecosystem. The justice is expensive, is long lasting, and it is both merciful and irrevocable in its final conclusions. We are guests of the earth, not its masters. And like ill-mannered children, our banquet offered freely by generous and forgiving hosts, we have behaved badly and are in danger of spoiling the gatherings for everyone else. Our thoughtless greed and selfishness have seriously disturbed the ecosystem. The fine balance and interdependent connection between the nature and humans is probable. If the balance is disturbed by any inappropriate or thoughtless actions, there will surely be a natural reaction, and the balance will have to be reset. On an individual level, this may involve hunting guilt over a wrong action or a subconscious feeling of bitterness because of an unfair situation. It signifies the karmic will of justice that rules our basic concept of right and wrong, and inescapable faith in justice will always be done. On a global level, it may mean that the thoughtless rape of rainforests one day severely affect one day will hold on a global level. It may mean the thoughtless rape of rainforests will one day severely affect the weather patterns and pollute seas, will one day produce poisoned fish that will be inedible. One day in a not so distant future, our host, the earth, may have no option but to give notice that the pendulum of justice has swung from us and we will no longer be welcome at the banquet. But on an individual level and as a civilization, we are responsible for our actions and must be aware of their consequences. Now, when this card pops up in a reading, these are some key points. On a personal level, some kind of adjustment or interaction has taken place. The key word here is responsibility. We must, as individuals, consciously observe the rules and regulation of society. And these can fluctuate as the views and knowledge of civilization change. Whether on a political or moral level, we subconsciously know when a realignment of our perception is due. This is a time we welcome justice and as arrive with the coming of spring and the fire of creation. Face the coming season with honesty and integrity and trust a right and appropriate action. Roots and branches. The sovereignty of the land, universal balance. The land and the king are one, divine intervention, universal law, and judgment. So so again, when that sag pops up, which is the numerology number 8, okay, when that sag energy pops up, it's 9 times out of 10, it's possibly a problem. And he is a male energy, okay? Yeah, and it seems like the sag pops up where things are so beautiful. Things are, in the springtime, where things are flowing so beautifully, the flowers are blooming this, that, and the third. And the archer allows you to do exactly what you want to do, okay, in the midst of your desires, okay? But that sag comes around and make sure that the actions was well mannered, if it was respected, this, that, and the third. What have you. And it seems like the side energy is almost like a person that can be very quiet and calm, but also a part of the chaos and craziness as well too, okay? So this person can also perform actions, and also can observe actions, okay? So that's probably why there is 2 dogs or 2 animals that is part of this Archer energy, and one of them is the Psych energy. So yeah, and this is awesome. Yes, let me see, ancestor. Now, I want to do another one, which was interesting. I like the answer, my faves, okay? Well, my favorite. I'm not going to do those. The seer. I like the seer. The seer seems like she is another. Actually, the seer, I can't remember too correctly what the seer is. If the seer is like the man and woman mix or what have you. But anywho, the seer also gives me part of a messenger as well too. I like the seer's energy. Yes, okay, so she is a she, okay. She is also filled with wisdom, but I'm going to read the seer one also, okay. The seer's energy. Position on the wheel, okay, so the seer is at the hub of the wheel in a quarter related to water and emotions and linked to the mysteries of the moon and the earth. She is partnered with shaman and acts as a guide to the royal tree. So she reports back to shaman. Okay, shaman is a messenger. Not a messenger. Shaman is like a magical energy. Okay, this person is very powerful. This person can manifest anything. Okay, Where's the shaman? Shaman is right here. I like the shaman's energy as well too. The shaman is again is a very powerful energy, a very protective energy. Again, very magical energy as well too. So this one reports back to the shaman, okay. But I also can believe, I also can feel that she also is a person that can report back to the archer as well too. But let me get into the seer again. Okay, so the seer is wrapped in owl's cloak of wisdom, decorated with totem atoms of totem totem atom, total animals of power and shamanic spirits. She stands before the world tree, drawing wisdom from the roots and are deeply embedded in the earth. Close around her are symbols of the four elements that she meditates: the cup, the staff, the arrow, and the stone. Okay. From the head of her staff hang the crane bag and the set of runes. She may be masked, and her face may only be glimpsed or seen in half light. Her voice may be hushed, and she may speak in riddles, but if you listen, she can point you to new, wiser beginnings. Okay. Placed at the heart of the wheel and the wildwood in the quadrant of water, the seer represents insight that is gained from the stillness and inwardness of the sojourn with the hooded man. Sojourn with the hooded man. Okay, so she is also connected and linked to the hooded man. Okay, she has the wisdom. Okay, she has the wisdom. She has the power to do magic. I feel like the hooded man would kind of like share his energy with her. I feel like he's comfortable with her, or what have you, and she receives from him. Okay, so the hooded man seems to have a more comforting energy with feminine energy. I see. Okay, and I do feel hooded man is like older energy, like an older energy. Okay. So she stands at the heart of an interpersonal universe and can meditate the knowledge and help and externalize this energy into power, wisdom, or creative endeavors in a material world. The seer acts as an oracular mediator of the feminine, intuitive, and imaginative principle. But her meditation is based on grounded energy and skill. This is symbolized by her feather cloak, which represents the flight of thought and intellect, mature and stabilized through her deep-rooted power, grounded in the memory of the conscious of earth. The seer stands at the centric both of the will and of the individual inner world, facing the shaman. Yeah, this is like a now that the hooded man is involved, this is like a give and take situation. Okay, the seer can help the hooded man in so many ways. Okay, the hooded man is like the hermit. Okay, he's in solitude. Okay, he is, he is an energy where he should also be receptive to receiving, and not neglect himself as well too. So in this deck, he is a secret holder. He has gifts, he has tools. Yeah, so in the seer can pull him out of whatever situation that can be, not all the way up his knees, to get him up to par. Okay, with her gifts and abilities. Okay, remember her backup is the shaman, which is the magical energy. The hooded man gives me solo energy. Okay, very solo energy, or what have you. And he also gives me a sensitive soul in this deck, like someone who is prone to, like a very sensitive energy, or what have you. And then the archer, and then the sag. So the sag energy, yeah, this gives me like the sag energy. Okay, the sag goes back to the archer. Okay, and the archer, okay, not making the hooded man the story of something, because it seemed like it's a story of his own. It's beautiful. But this is beautiful. So the seer, okay, continuing on with the seer. Okay, she acts only not in a guide to the soul, but as a catalyst for the manifestation of creative and artistic work. Ideals may be filtered through the shadowy realm of dreams and trance-like states, but the inner archetypical mediators informs these ideas into works of literature. Song or dance is the seer. Wait, it is she who inspires the emotional link to a book, a piece, or music, or brings a tear to the eye of the end of an emotional film, or laughter at a funny story. With her inherent ability to balance emotion, intellect, and willpower, she spurs us to create change in our material world and is a skilled mediator of all elemental forces found within the wildwood. She fosters the positive exercise of will and manifests by emotions and commitment and resulting in outer material effect. This is one of the purest and most balanced. This is one of the most purest and most blessed forms of earth magic. Reading points. The time has come to focus your power and let it flow through you. Many dreams or desires related to the universe, the many dreams or desires related to the creative emotional process are ready to be applied to your day-to-day life, and you must now give vent to those hidden or suppressed longings. This may also relate to healing sexual relationships or partnerships. Now the manifestation of inner spiritual or esoteric insights into your practical and physical daily life will bring profound rewards and results. It is a sign of maturity. The seer also relates to creative impulses such as art, mechanical skills, and crafts. Enjoy or bringing pleasure and knowledge to others. So I like her, okay? I like her. I like her. I like her. I would be a fan of the seer outside of a fan of the sag, okay? Remember that sag will poke at you. That's the energy that I get. The sag will poke at you literally, and the archer would be like, okay with it, down with it, because the archer is a different type of energy, totally different type of energy. This person is human and animal, okay? The archer comes from a different perspective of thinking, okay? The seer is differently. The seer look like if the hooded man, back to the hooded man, because she also is an analyzer, okay? She, she's gonna go into, she's going to healing, sexual relationships, partnerships, things that have been suppressed. Okay, so she analyzed all of those things, the good and the bad, seems like, okay, and she bring it back to the shaman. The shaman fixes it magically, okay? I like the shaman. The shaman is like, I like the shaman, okay? So yeah, this is good. This is good. Let me see the shaman. I like the shaman's energy. So I'm going to stop this reading right here, and then I'm going to do a part two, do the part two of who the actual seer energy reports to, which is the shaman. And the shaman is a beautiful energy, so stick around. I'm going to do another video, and this is going to explain the shaman's descriptions, what he means when he pops up in a reading. He is a very magical individual. He's a very mature individual as well too. Look at his energy space, okay, right there. Wait, let me see. So yeah, and then I'm going to show the actual cards too. I'm going to get to the cards. If you all does not have this energy already, I'll show you the cards. So I'm going to break a little bit, and then I'm going to read from the shaman's energy. Okay, hold on.